Hey everyone, my name is Aaron. Welcome back to the Critic Sensei YouTube channel, your go-to channel for movie reviews, TV reviews, and updates with the entertainment industry. On this channel, we sharpen the edge of entertainment, one critique at a time. Today we're doing a deep dive in regards to what's been happening with Lucasfilm ever since Disney acquired it back in 2012, and Kathleen Kennedy took over as president. The Star Wars brand has been going down a downward spiral ever since 2012 when Kathleen Kennedy took over. And despite a strong start with The Force Awakens in 2015, things have gone bad to worse. And this year, by 2024, it feels like the IP of Star Wars is almost beyond saving. As most of you know, we've seen disaster after disaster after disaster, one failure after another, Disney losing millions and billions of dollars. And Lucasfilm's most recent project, The Acolyte, was definitely the last nail in the coffin. And coming up, we have another Star Wars show called The Skeleton Crew that nobody really asked for, and that's set to drop this upcoming December. But honestly, at this point, I don't think there's anything the franchise can do to bring it back to its glory days. And over the last year since 2012, they lost so many Star Wars fans. Look at the views and the ratings of The Acolyte. The Acolyte was the lowest viewed Star Wars project to ever be created, and also the lowest rated. Keep in mind, only the first 2 episodes made the Nielsen Top 10 list because it was a 2-episode premiere. But none of the other episodes made it on this list, which was extremely embarrassing, and that proves no one watched this show. But today I want to focus on Kathleen Kennedy and all of the chaos that's been going on behind the scenes between her, Lucasfilm HQ, and of course, CEO Bob Iger. So if you're new to the channel, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. For me, the best part about this channel is finding other like-minded people who don't want that woke initiative pushed upon them. We just want great entertainment, and honestly, we need way more of that lately. And I appreciate the support from all of you. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of this video, and let's keep going. Now when we look at Star Wars today, there are many aspects to the mess that is the Star Wars universe. Take for instance, Star Wars Outlaws. And this was a huge sales disaster for Ubisoft and Lucasfilm. Not only is it another example of poor management, but this project specifically hit Kathleen Kennedy at a personal level. The internal battles between Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm HQ, the story group, and Disney has been escalating. And it's clear that the problems go very deep. One of the most recent developments regards Kathleen Kennedy getting into a heated conflict with Disney executives over a cancelled project that would have expanded the character Kay Vess, who is from Star Wars Outlaws, into a live-action role. It's all dependent if Star Wars Outlaws was a success or not, and obviously it was a huge failure. So let me explain. They planned a whole Disney Plus series around this game that would feature Kay Vess and multiple cameos. The project was named Code Atlas Point and was set to be 8 episodes, taking place around the original trilogy. Supposedly, Kathleen Kennedy saw this as her dream project, a way to reframe George Lucas's original trilogy and insert yet another powerful Mary Sue type character. But because Star Wars Outlaws failed so miserably in terms of sales and all the backlash they got because of the horrible gameplay and storyline, Bob Iger made the ultimate decision to cut this project and pull the plug on the entire thing. There have been plans for Kay Vess to make multiple appearances exclusive to this series, but now it is all cancelled. And of course, Kathleen Kennedy, unsurprisingly, was not happy about this. And it led to several very public, emotional moments on her part. And on top of all of this, some of the funds have already been funneled to start the pre-production of this series, coming from the leftover budget Lucasfilm had from the sequel trilogy. And now all of that has gone to waste due to the poor performance of this game and Bob Iger pulling the plug. Once again, Kathleen Kennedy proves she is more interested in pushing certain narratives and focusing on specific characters rather than creating a compelling Star Wars story that the fans would actually want. Now let's take a step back and look at the big picture. Kennedy seems determined to avoid any Star Wars story where there's a powerful male lead. She openly said in the past that she strictly wanted to focus on strong female characters to lead Star Wars, stating things like Star Wars is female, hence the Rey Skywalker film that's supposed to be released later on, but recently has been put on hold, possibly cancelled, due to the sequel trilogy doing so horribly and Rey being a character not many people liked. And very soon we'll learn a lot lot more about this Rey Skywalker movie, if it's really canceled, what's going to be happening in regards to this. Right now it's only on hold, so we'll see what happens in regards to production. Now she's dealing with even more internal conflict with CEO Bob Iger. And here's a little extra information for all of you. Disney has been cutting back drastically on Star Wars live action shows due to all of them failing so horribly. And they're shifting the focus back on their films. They shelved or outright canceled so many different projects that were in the funnel. And most of these projects are not just on hold, they are canceled for good. They want to focus on the films, but those plans are unraveling as well. Taika Waititi's movie is also in jeopardy, and the Rey Skywalker film is on shaky legs. And James Mangold's movie, Jedi Prime, is also having a lot of issues. And let's be honest right now, none of this is a surprise coming from Lucasfilm, coming from Kathleen Kennedy. She's had failed project one after another over the last 12 years of being president of Lucasfilm. It's safe to say she absolutely destroyed the Star Wars IP. A lot of fans won't even give their projects a chance. With the two most recent projects being The Acolyte and Star Wars Outlaws, it really doesn't give Star Wars fans a lot of hope for future projects. And if the last 12 years said anything, it proves that Kathleen Kennedy has not been the right person for the job. And 12 years is a long time to destroy a major IP and to destroy George Lucas's dream. And we can't just blame Kathleen Kennedy for this. Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, should have replaced Kathleen Kennedy a long time ago. Especially after all the backlash that came after The Last Jedi. That should have been the last nail in the coffin, but for whatever reason, Kathleen Kennedy is like a cat. She has 9 lives, and it looks like she will be at Lucasfilm until she retires. At the end of the day, the Star Wars brand was poorly managed. They've had one failed project after another, breaking lore, breaking the trust of Star Wars fans, and Kathleen Kennedy, Bob Iger, has no one else to blame but themselves. And of course, they like to do that thing that Disney's been doing lately, is to blame the fans for their failure. You can't blame the fans for really poor managed projects. For The Acolyte, for example, it was probably the worst television show I ever watched. Most recently, there was a statement stating that it was $300 million to create The Acolyte, which honestly looked like a $20 million show. Everything was so poor in the film, and there's a reason why it got such a low rating on Rotten Tomatoes. And I believe it ended up at 16% Rotten Tomatoes, which is extremely embarrassing. At this point, Kathleen Kennedy, either way, she will be out of Lucasfilm very soon. Hopefully her contract doesn't keep going to 2027. We need someone to take her place that's passionate about Star Wars. Someone that cares about the story, that actually knows what's going on. It feels like Kathleen Kennedy just knows surface level stuff about Star Wars. But as the president of Star Wars, you should have passion for these characters, for the films, for the books. I feel like she's just a person who's in that position trying to push her own agenda and her woke initiative. And by doing what she's done, it's safe to say she's been the worst president of Lucasfilm to ever be in that position. And the same can be everything he's done with Disney, Marvel, Lucasfilm, and honestly, Disney's not in the best shape right now. But I'm gonna end the video here, so please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Leave a comment down below what you think of Kathleen Kennedy, and if you know anyone that should possibly take her place. The whole culture is ingrained in the woke culture, which isn't good. Someone who does take her place is completely opposite of her and is passionate about these projects. And at this point as well, I don't know what to say about Bob Iger. He is a horrible CEO letting all these projects happen. Also, Bob Iger never taking the blame for his projects. He is the CEO. Everything goes through him. And he and Kathleen Kennedy will never take responsibility for their actions. And remember, I do respond back to every single comment I get. Thank you guys for the support. It's honestly making these videos so much fun to do. And I do respond back to every single comment I get. Peace out, and I'll see you guys in the next video.